a magical connection I feel in my bones and in my boner, which is made of stone. My stoner.
Yeah. I think
my Sarah's stoner. So sick of my shit. She's like, yeah, Hope, whatever.
Yeah,
Stoner,
you know
sure.
what? Just rattle off all of the one-liners we can.
Hi.
Hey. Welcome to Say Smut, a literary podcast for readers and non-readers.
That's Sarah, and she loves books.
And that's Hope, who loves talking to me about books.
Yeah.
Each episode, I break down the plots of some pretty wild books to Hope, who has not read them. And finding this week's book was such a task.
Indeed.
I sent you a message last night being like, I've read 2 books. They both have given me the ick, primarily because of the consentness of them. And like I said to you, like sometimes we do books and we're like, we're gonna like the last one, which was like the zombie one, you know, like it's zombies. We're all going to suspend our disbelief, like, you know, whatever. But then there are certain situations where I'm like, no. This is going to a place where I don't feel comfortable talking and analyzing this, you know? So I read 2 books that were like that back to back. And then I found this book, and there are multiple books in the series, and on Amazon, this one was not on Kindle Unlimited. So I had to purchase it for $2.99. But then I made the fatal error of buying all the books in the series. Like I clicked that button, like,
oh, amazing. Yeah.
And it was the click once and get it all like right now instead of like a put it in your cart situation. So I accidentally clicked that one and got them all. So spoiler, but we will be doing the others in the series.
I was going to say, so the great news is that we have the next several episodes on lock. It's going to be a multi-part series.
Yeah, look, we will be reapproaching them because I do now own them. And I'm all about supporting local authors, indie authors, not local. I don't think this person's from Iowa, but indie authors. But it is one of those things. I bought it. We now have to do it at some point. But I did promise you last week, because I was struggling to get everything done in my life that needed to be done, that I would keep it still spooky a little bit this episode.
I'm ready to be scared.
I walked a very fine line of trying to find something, because I've said this before. We have a lot of really great options during spooky season and during Christmas season.
True.
Like the holiday season. And some of them I want to save for next year. You know, some of them are I feel like people might be out of the spooky realm. They're playing Mariah Carey already, you know.
That's true.
So I was kind of walking this line of what do I pick? And I thought, well, if I pick something that at least still has a monster or like something paranormal to it, then it's still kind of spooky season-ish.
Yeah.
It still validates my claim of last week. But maybe I don't go super hard with the Halloween vibes. So,
right. It's not about like a pumpkin man this time.
No, but did I look at fucking the Pumpkin King? Yes, I did.
Of course.
I did look at that one. And I do have a pumpkin related. Well, it just has pumpkin in the title. I don't want to say it is actually a pumpkin. I don't know, actually. I've just seen the title. So I do have something pumpkin related for next week. But I think that's more of like a Thanksgiving, you know, vibe.
Yeah. I got you.
I just want to match the vibe. I don't want somebody to open our podcast and be like, these bitches have no idea what they're doing. What are they talking about?
We are all about meticulous vibe curation on this podcast.
Oh, yeah. The vibe's immaculate every week.
One thing we're known to have is our shit together.
Yes. And the vibes we're bringing this week is from the book called Claimed by the Stone Beast by Cordova, Skye.
Wow.
I think your face like froze in a surprised.
I'm excited. Person. Sorry, I'm excited.
Yes, I thought there's no hiding it. There's no, you know, I feel like sometimes I try and play around with making you guess what we're trying to do.
Sure. But the second you were like, tell me what gargoyles are for, I was bound to understand that gargoyles would maybe be involved.
Yeah, they were going to be involved. And I told you I wanted something paranormal, and we haven't had a gargoyle yet.
That's so
we
true.
Haven't. It is technically book 3 in the Claimed by the Beast series by Cordova.
Sure.
I want to give some warnings before we jump too far in, because this is a little bit of a different one. We have sexual harassment in the workplace, a mugging, mention of guns, sexual content, pregnancy, and lactation. Okay.
This one's going to include pregnancy. Note to future self.
Yeah. If you get asked predictions, you haven't heard pregnancy yet, you will guess pregnancy. Some ratings on Storygraph, it has a 2.0, but it only has one rating. So that's one person's rating. So kind of, I think that's not a valid one.
Sure.
But Goodreads, it has a 3.92.
Ooh.
Okay.
All right.
Cordova, a little bit about them. We've got a bio from Amazon. Cordova Skye's longtime passion for storytelling finally found release with the advent of ebook publishing. She grabbed the opportunity and never looked back. She adores telling tales of the erotic, exotic, and likes to fill her stories with fertile, bulging bellies getting the worship they deserve.
Right on.
Right on. Are you ready to jump in to our story this week?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. Hope, as I typically start, I have a question for you.
Okay, I'm ready.
Have you ever worked at a place that maybe the area it's in is sketchy, maybe the entrance is sketchy, but it gives you like a moment of pause when you come and go from this workplace?
Maybe not necessarily a workplace, but I've definitely lived in apartments where the entrance to said apartment would be a little bit frightening to use.
Would that be above Spaghetti Works?
How did you know? Of course it is. The apartment above Spaghetti Works.
Sorry, this is so niche, and I hope you don't mind that I outed you. We can take this out.
That's okay. I don't even live in Iowa.
You don't even live in that state anymore. But I just love, the best fun fact is you lived above this place that was a staple in Des Moines for so long and now no longer is there.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
No.
Spaghetti Works is long gone.
Oh, that's sad, because then the bathroom that I used in my apartment will no longer smell like garlic bread sometimes.
That's exactly what I was going to bring up, though, was the fact that your bathroom smelled like garlic bread, which I love garlic bread to a visceral level. But
it's an unfortunate location to have the smell be. And the only place in that apartment where that smell would come up, which is crazy.
Which I think to myself, if I were to be sick, like vomiting sick or something, and to correlate it with that smell would be devastating.
Absolutely not what you want. I never had that experience, which is so fortunate. But it was like... It was the first level of apartments above the kitchen of this restaurant, and I was right above the kitchen of the restaurant. And so I don't know what the ducts were or the piping, but it was just like a straight shot of garlic bread sometimes. Not
and
all
then
the time,
did you eat a lot there? Did you eat at Spaghetti Works?
Actually, no. I think I've maybe ate at Spaghetti Works twice, maybe 3 times total. And I don't know if I lived above it the times I did it.
I think I'd get the craving real bad if I was smelling it all the time.
Hot take. I thought it was fine.
Okay.
And I don't feel bad saying that because it doesn't exist anymore.
That's so true. Okay. So let's jump into our story, which is about Evie. Evelyn is her full name, but we're going to call her Evie for the book. She is a junior accountant, and her place of work is a set of offices that make up the Carl Smith building. Okay. It's a giant old Gothic building that is in the heart of the city. And every morning she gets off the bus and she kind of has to go down this back alley, which is really sketchy, to get to the employees' entrance.
Right.
Okay.
Terrifying.
But, she kind of low-key hates her life, and she tries to make her life a little whimsical every day in a way she can. I think that's a trend on TikTok right now, is like, how can you make your very mundane day very whimsical?
I love whimsy. My hair is like 5 different colors.
I know, and it looks so good. You just got it done, so I can say that. Anyway, so she likes to make her day whimsy because there is a massive gargoyle looming above the back entrance, and she's named him Huey. And so every morning she says good morning to Huey.
Great.
And this particular day, her manager overhears her because he's walking in behind her, and he's like poking fun at her for saying hello to the gargoyle. This manager is every middle manager stereotype that you would think of in a
Gross.
white man.
Gross.
Right? Yeah. So
and they usually are like statistically white men because of white privilege. So just like every middle manager, maybe ever.
Yes. And he is the type that his name is Tim, first of all. And he is the type that will threaten to write her up for things just to hold it over her head, you know,
right. Like I'll write you up for talking to that gargoyle.
Like, you know, he peaked in high school and he was like a captain of some low grade JV team. And now he has not let that power struggle go, you know? Okay.
Right. Yeesh.
So she runs into him on her way in and he brings up that she's going to have to work late tonight because she has an account that's due tomorrow that she didn't know about, of course. And he's like, that sucks that you're going to have to work late. And so now she's dreading all day the workday ending because she knows for a fact that Tim is going to come and like, you know, do something when she's alone in the office, or he's going to, you know, try and put the moves on in some way.
Yuck.
He's going to find a way to infiltrate her evening when she's alone in this office.
Right.
So when the day comes to an end, she hides in the bathroom because she's like, I am just hoping he will leave if he can't find me. And then like, it'll be whatever.
Right.
Okay. So sure. She hides in the bathroom. It works. She comes out. No one is at all around. She is alone in this very gothic building. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. She gets her work done. I keep like when reading this book, I kept waiting for the moment something was going to happen because it was kind of looming. Right. It was like
waiting for spooky manager to pop out and be spooky.
Sure. Just waiting for that moment. Well, she gets her work done. Thank God.
Good.
And she has to head out and she's like, okay, there's no buses that are going to be running right now. I'm going to have to get an Uber, but there's no cell service in this building. So I'm going to have to wait to call the Uber until I'm outside. And I'm going to have to do that when I'm in the dark alley and, just all the struggles. Okay. So she pops out onto that back alley and she starts walking down the alleyway, but she hears someone behind her. Right.
Yeah.
And she starts just bursting out into a run because that fight or flight mode
completely understandable.
Yes. And somebody grabs her by her hair and she turns around and sees her assailant who is holding a gun to her head.
Oh no.
This is not manager. This is just some creepy dude otherwise.
Yeah. Okay? I was hoping it was going to be a gargoyle, full disclosure.
Yeah.
Yikes.
But just as she thinks that these are going to be her last moments on Earth, there is a large looming figure that drops from the sky and collides with the ground like a large boulder on cement. And she recognizes this figure.
Batman. No, I'm just kidding.
Close. It's Huey.
Yeah.
So at this time, will you tell us a little bit about gargoyles? Because I feel like I don't know anything about gargoyles or like why we would even have them on buildings. And like, do we even still put them on buildings? I would imagine not because I don't see them anymore, but I'm sure you can tell me.
Yeah, let me just straight up tell you all about it in my research that called something funny about gargoyles, LOL help. Because it just wasn't coming to me today, everybody. And
I don't know how you could make a pun about gargoyles.
I sat at my desk in like such a focused, like concentrated position. It was like funny about gargoyles. But honestly, it wasn't coming today. And if it's not coming, don't force it.
No, don't force it. Let's keep moving.
Thank you so much to Friends of Notre Dame de Paris, Gloucestershire.uk.gov, and Mental Floss for this information. Here's what's up. Very, very specifically, gargoyles are added to this two structures for a practical purpose. Typically, they move water, like drain water off of a building.
Okay.
To help, because you will usually see a gargoyle on a stone structure. Yeah. And so you got to keep rainwater off of that to prevent it from eroding over time.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So gargoyles are on a building to do that, to help like move water out from the walls of the building. According to Friends of Notre Dame de Paris, the word gargoyle comes from the Latin gorge and Old French gueule, meaning mouth. Because often gargoyles have big mouths that are open.
Yeah.
Friends of Notre Dame also noted that gargoyles originated in medieval Europe, and often on churches. So, if you see a creature on a building, every source brought this up, very specific. If you see a creature on a building that looks like a gargoyle, but it does not have an open mouth that's sole purpose is moving rainwater off of the walls of the building or whatever, it is not a gargoyle. Don't even call it that, because that's not what that is. It is actually something called a grotesque, and it is used for beautification only. So, like, gargoyles very specifically have a job of, like, mitigating rainwater. And if you see a gargoyle-like structure on a building, but it doesn't do that, it's not built to do that, then it's not even a gargoyle. That's something else entirely.
That is so interesting.
Don't get it twisted. Gargoyles could look like a lot of different things, and it just depends on the person who designed the building and like the time that it was built. It's like a design thing. So the design can be symbolic, like the gargoyles at Notre Dame, for example, quote, represent the concept of evil with their monstrous and fearsome appearance, serving to ward off negative forces and remind the faithful of the perils of sin. But they can also just be like an angel or a chimera or a dragon or a lion or a regular person. I saw a gargoyle that was just like a person with their dick out, and their dick was what mitigated the water off the building.
Shut up.
Yeah, it was called like rude gargoyle.
Oh my gosh.
But that's the Tian gargoyles. Purpose on a building is basically like, you know, drains you have on the side of your house.
Yeah.
That catch water from the gutters and then move it away from your house. That's essentially what a gargoyle does. And so do we use them now? No, but mostly like stylistically, I would say, is why more than anything else. And also they were mostly put on cathedrals, and then also had kind of, you know, like it mentioned before, a sort of spiritual other like symbolic meaning to them. And so they weren't very often put on houses anyway. So
yeah,
they were not like we're building cathedrals everywhere and would then put gargoyles on it. Also not necessarily building as many structures in stone. All kinds of different reasons why they're not really around, but they serve a functional purpose, and the functional purpose is essentially to drain rainwater off of a building.
Then we don't know for sure if Huey is actually a gargoyle or
Correct.
grotesque, because we don't know if he's redirecting water.
Yeah, I guess if you're telling me it doesn't come up, we can't say for sure. Huey could be a grotesque, and that's okay. And to be fair, the title of the book doesn't say gargoyle specifically. It does say stone beast, so there's really no problem if Huey is a grotesque.
Don't know for sure. I know for sure that they say the word gargoyle in the book.
Okay.
But I don't know if they use that interchangeably with grotesque, you know? I don't know.
Will they, in any of the smuttier sequences, reference him having like a big long neck that liquid comes out of?
Can confirm
or
no.
big long dick that liquid comes out of, because
true,
could be a gargoyle.
That is absolutely accurate. Okay, we will jump back into it. Is that your research?
That's my research.
Beautiful.
Put it on the back burner.
Great job.
Thank you.
We are now back into our story where he has come down and he is now saving her from this mugger. And he just like tosses the mugger aside, and we never hear about that again.
Well, good. Who needed it?
Mm-hmm. And so she's like, Huey? And he's like, Evelyn?
I would love to know at the point at which he's determined her name. Yeah.
I mean, he's clearly been eavesdropping when she's been coming and going with this boss lurking behind her, you know?
Sure.
And without saying much more, he scoops her up and flies off to the top of the building. Now,
so scary, but cool. But
Evie
scary.
proceeds to ask him about 3 separate times how he's real. And at first he ignores her. Okay, just straight up doesn't respond. And she just keeps asking different variations of, how is this happening? How are you real? Blah, blah, blah. And so finally, when he does answer her, he is like, you and I are bound to be. And his explanation is, quote, I am bound to the building. It is true. But
also you are bound to the building because you are working this shitty job.
Yeah.
And so in that way, we two are bound together.
He says, but there is one bond that can break the curse upon me. You, Evelyn, are that bond.
Well, thank God.
Which tells us nothing. I'm at a point where I'm like, we've had such amazing books that have such great lore that detail every precise question you and I might have. And this is just a whole lot of nothing. No explanation.
I have come to the philosophy, when in doubt, fated mates, which is that when lore-wise something like this doesn't make any sense, it is just because they're meant to be together, and that's the only logic we need. So yeah, when in doubt, fated mates.
Which is the premise that they're going for here. And they do drop the word mate later on, but it's not necessarily... It's not
in like a fated partner way. It's in like a make a baby kind of way.
Kind of. But then he does say, like, you are the only one for me. Like, you were the one meant for me. You were meant to break this curse on me or whatever. Anyway, whatever. We do get a description of him.
Okay.
And this is it. Quote, alive, the dull gray stone had been transformed to shades of silver, onyx, and obsidian. Mm-hmm. From the flash of his sharp teeth to the polished curves of his horns to the softer leathery wings folded against his back. Mm-hmm. I'll also note that when she puts her hand to his chest, she can feel a heartbeat underneath.
Okay.
And I'm really unclear from here on out.
Just like rock on rock.
Yeah, like, is he still made of stone, or is he actually like an animal or human material? You know what I mean?
Like, is he soft, or is every part of him made of stone, but working biologically like a human's body would? So he's got like a stone heart in a stone body with
very
stone
cartoony.
lungs.
Yeah.
I'm fine with either option.
We don't get an answer though, and that pisses me off.
Yeah, that's okay. Well, choose your own adventure. I choose to believe he's made entirely of stone.
Me too.
That his body functions exactly like a human body, but just absolutely everything is made of stone. And he would be so loud to be around, but that's okay.
That's okay.
That's okay.
We accept him how he is.
Yeah.
But he just keeps telling her over and over again that they are bound. Mm-hmm. And he will protect her. And they are bound. But he keeps saying it in different variations that are like, okay, and?
Like someone told him to come up with different ways to say fated mate.
Yeah. It's
and these
almost
are all the ones he came up with.
It's almost like if somebody was like, the sky is so blue, and when the sun is out, like, the sky is just this really beautiful blue color. Mm-hmm. And if you were to open your eyes and look
Sapphire.
up, you'd see a blue color. You know, that's what it feels like we're being told over and over again. So then he goes, quote, you must allow me to claim you. Then he kisses her. She does talk about how hot it is and how she is really into it.
Yeah.
But by the way, they don't even know each other's names. I mean, like, he knows her name, but she's been calling him Huey.
Nope, that's just his name canonically.
Well, ironically, at one point at the very beginning...
Dewey? Is it Louis? You can tell me.
No, close. But at the beginning, she's talking to her manager, and he's like, why do you call him Huey? And she's like, doesn't he look like a Huey? And like...
Stupid ass.
Yeah, dumbass.
Doesn't he look like a Huey?
Well, his name is actually Hernock.
Close.
Huey
for short.
I'm going to call him Huey for the rest of the book.
All going to call him Huey.
Yeah. So we get his lore, which I, again, feel like is a whole lot of nothing, but okay. Okay. Quote, my kind were ancient when the world was young. We are creatures of dream and nightmare, bound to stone to serve the whims of our human masters. I was imprisoned long ago, brought to this new land and bound to this building as its guardian. But even the old magics cannot stand against my soul's bound to yours, Evelyn. And then he tells Evelyn that they share a soul.
Oh. Is it made of rock?
I have so many questions. Where did you come from? Because apparently he was brought to this new land. Where?
From whence?
How did you get here? Why this building?
From whence did you come? And Well, my big question is who is your human master, but I want to leave space for if we find that out.
We're not gonna.
Okay, never mind. Like maybe it's what Tim, the manager's name is Tim. Maybe Tim is his human master.
Rip, that him to this
firm or whatever.
So he whisks her off to the top tiers of the building, which she thought were like decorative towers. No, they are actually rooms. And he says, quote, to bind a gargoyle, a mage must make provisions for the day the bond is broken. So apparently he's had this bedroom up here waiting for him and his mate.
For when the bond is broken, which I hope is by way of fucking.
Yeah, and then he goes on to say, these upper floors are for the use of my mate and our younger.
Excuse me?
So I want to know, when were these made? Who RSVP'd to the function? I want to understand so much more. But okay. This is when she finally processes the fact that he actually does want to fuck her, even though he said it 5 million times.
Yeah, dude, you already kissed.
And he asks her if she wants to be claimed, and she kind of gets flustered and then like says yes, but doesn't really know what she's signing up for.
Sure.
She just is like, I trust you. And he's like, good girl.
Yes, with absolutely no clarification as to what that means to you versus
None.
what I think it means.
None.
When
they finally make it to his quarters, the walls are polished like gemstones, and there is an inlaid crystal pattern on the ceiling and a huge bed with a wooden frame that's carved in a shape of a serpent coiled in on itself. It's very dramatic. Okay.
All you need to know. And this is above the I'm just calling it the firm.
Yeah, it's at the top of the building.
Okay.
Yeah. He keeps asking her if she wants to be claimed. And again, she's already confirmed.
Right? Like great to double check because consent is sexy and can be revoked at any time, so always good to touch base.
But he did say, like, once we go down this route, there's really no coming back, and you'll understand later why that
I imagine for like magical ramification reasons.
Probably.
Hopefully not consent reasons.
No, not consent reasons. Okay. But at no point does Hugh explain any of what this means. Like sometimes when we've had the whole fated mate thing, like even when I think back to that, the demon one that we had a couple weeks ago where he's like, you'll come to the underworld with me and once a year you can come, you know what I mean? Like here are the terms and conditions of our mating.
Give us a little bit of fine print.
Yeah. Like, will she be able to go to her job still? Are they moving in together? How soon do they need to have these offspring? Right? Evie does not care. She's all in. She's ready to go. He starts undressing her from her office clothing and says, quote, you are beautiful and you deserve far finer garb than this.
Something else I've been keeping in this absolutely insane room above the firm that you work at.
No, there is no clothing, but I would take that as a personal offense. Like, these are clothes I picked out. Okay.
Second of all, I'm working so late tonight.
I'm working late.
Because I'm a singer. Exactly.
Because I'm an accountant.
Because I'm a junior account executive or whatever.
I know you're curious about what he's wearing, and he is wearing only a loincloth. And again, I come back to, is it made of stone? Is it made of cloth? We will never know.
We'll never know.
He does have a huge dick, of course.
Obviously.
We don't get any crazy description, so I assume normal penis. Okay.
I assume rock hard.
Rock hard, absolutely. So he goes down on her, and it's the best thing since sliced bread. He does make her beg for it. So like over and over again, she's like, please claim me. And he is like, what was that? Please claim me. No, I couldn't hear you. You know, it was like a call and response moment.
Aye, Captain.
Aye, Captain. I can't hear you. After she orgasms from oral, her internal dialogue tells the reader that she is shocked that he is so hard and turned on, but he took the time to give her pleasure.
It's really nice.
Girl, the bar is on the floor.
The bar is on the floor. But, you know, given that there's a lot of like ritualistic things happening for whatever severing from the building is going to happen. It's nice that he took the time to make sure.
That's so true.
So
So
true.
finally they have missionary sex, and he says, like,
awesome.
I am very, like, the scenes were very descriptive and very long, but it was all pretty vanilla. Okay. So he goes, quote, "I've been waiting for you, my fated one. I've dreamt of this moment since I first laid eyes on you," which led me to the question, when does the spell break? Was it when she was in danger of her life being taken? Or like, why couldn't he save her from her boss?
Right. Just like, I don't know. It does seem like maybe he wanted to really get to know her from afar first. And then he was like, tonight is the night.
She's some yearning. Because
she's happening. A junior account executive and I will make my move.
Yeah. Understandable. And like I said, I just was disappointed because they have no mention of his horns during the sex scene, no mention of his wings during the sex scene.
Well,
like, we had a lot to work with.
If the horns aren't sensitive, why bring it up?
Well, they are handlebars. We do know
they are. Fair enough.
We do know, especially if he's going down on her. Come on.
True. Hey, I hadn't even thought of that. Is he going down on her?
He did at the very beginning.
Okay, right. Sorry, right. Yes.
Come on, catch up.
I'm sorry. I was focusing a little bit on my drawing. It's pretty good.
That's fair. Okay, so when they're done, he says, quote, "You are everything I could hope for, Evelyn, and soon you will bear my children, and my flight will fill the skies of this city free and unbound."
Wow.
Whatever the fuck that means. I'm sorry.
A lot of extra. Does that flight as in just you personally flying? Flight as in more of you coming to fly all together?
What does this mean? And also, it feels like a vanity project, if I'm being honest.
A little bit. And like, I knew that there was going to be pregnancy because warnings at the beginning of this podcast, but did she know there was going to be pregnant? It was part of the deal, right?
Yes, he does talk about how he wants to impregnate her essentially, but he doesn't emphasize when or like how, you know,
how immediately that's going to happen. Well, I could guess how.
Yeah. He says, quote, "I want nothing more than to fill you with my seed again, to feel your womb swell with my child." And Evelyn is like, "Me too, homie."
Biologically how it works.
Yeah. And so she falls asleep and she's like super content. So then we have a little flash forward and she wakes up and she like doesn't know where she's at, right? She's like, "Why is my bed so comfy? I don't remember getting like this nice of sheets." And then everything comes back to her, right? And she's like, "Oh, I had sex with the gargoyle last night, right?" And
meant to be together. Oh,
yeah, fated mates, something maybe. And then she looks around and realizes Huey is not in the room, like not in the bed with her. So she stands up to go like look for him and realizes that her body feels really weird and weighted differently. And she looks
like it's full of a stone child, maybe.
She looks down and her stomach is fully swollen past her boobs.
Yeah. That's some Twilight Bella Swan shit.
No, but like on steroids for sure.
Yeah, even faster, which is great.
Yeah. Immediately she starts freaking out, which...
No shit. Can you imagine?
No, it would be... I mean, already, and this is... Like, pregnancy, I think, is beautiful in so many ways, but the concept of being pregnant, like, I think is obviously a foreign concept until you experience it.
Right.
The idea of immediately going to 9 months pregnant overnight is so petrifying.
Truly.
It sounds so petrifying.
So scary. Because like even in instances where maybe someone has become pregnant and they don't know and then they find out like as they're giving birth, even then that is not one day I felt like a normal person and then the next day I felt like a 9-month pregnant person and also looked like a 9-month pregnant person. Like that's not how that feels. This would be so horrifying.
To wake up and your body is like completely morphed into a whole thing that you were not expecting. Okay.
But then again, maybe we skip morning sickness and like,
oh,
pretty good.
Well, okay, we'll get to some other stuff here in a second.
Or she's gonna experience it all this morning. I'm here to find out.
So, okay, so she like looks down at her stomach. She's like freaking out, reasonable. And she's frantically looking around and notices that he is sitting outside of the window watching the sunrise.
Doing his job.
And she's like, "Huey, the fuck's going on right now?" And he's super chill and is like, quote, "You are with me in my home did you not say you wanted this? And she's like, yeah, but I was a virgin until last night. And his response, quote, I told you I would see your womb grow with my child. I am a creature of magic. What we both will becomes reality.
You didn't even know you were willing. Instantaneous 9-month pregnancy.
Internally, Evie says, quote, a shiver ran through her as she admitted to herself that she had wanted this, to be full and heavy with the ancient gargoyle's seed. That's exactly how she worded it, too.
It's exactly what she wanted.
Exactly.
And we love crystal clear communication.
Then it's not long until they are having sex again because she is so horny.
Mm-hmm.
And they have completely missionary sex, during which she does start lactating. And I was nervous for a second that he would start drinking her milk. He does not. He does not.
That's good to know. And I appreciate the clarification.
Because I did have a moment of, which, look, I don't want to ick anyone's yum again, but I think for me, if I were her and I just had my body morph overnight, that'd be a little too much
to get ready for in one day.
Yeah. But they both reach an orgasm and they make a sweet pledge to be together forever. The end.
Wow.
I feel like there were so many missed opportunities to explain what the fuck happened next. How quickly did she give birth? Like the next hour?
Who could say?
What?
I take it that the Claimed by the Beast series is each book is a new beast claiming someone and not a shared universe where we'll find out later. Probably.
That is true.
Okay, that's fine.
The other ones, let me give you the titles if I can find them. So we have Claimed by the Snow Beast.
Beautiful.
Claimed by the Winged Beast, then the one we had today. Claimed by the Tentacle Beast.
Okay.
And I want you to know that they all have pregnant women on the front.
Well, I think we all can agree that claimed means impregnated by.
For sure. I mean, I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that.
I don't really feel that way, but for the purpose
pretty
of this
close.
Series, it seemed it's a trend I've noticed.
Yeah,
in
for
this
sure.
book series specifically.
Yeah. I appreciate that this author said that she likes to make pregnant women feel sexy. I think that's great representation. Great. As we jump into our scorecard, I will admit that all we know about Evie's identity is that she is blonde because they talk about her blonde hair. But other than that,
anybody
we don't know.
Could be blonde.
Anybody could be blonde. Otherwise, we really don't have any other descriptions from a diversity standpoint. Plot. What are you going to give our plot?
I'm gonna give it a 4.
That is so nice. I'm giving it a 2 because
fair enough.
I feel like the can of worms just kept opening and then we never explained what the fuck was going on. Like you gave him this whole cryptic backstory that we never even dove into. I want to understand, when does she give birth? I would like him to be like, yeah, it's actually a 12-hour process and you're going to give birth in 4 hours.
I understand.
I would like to know. Smut, I will give it. Oh gosh, that's so hard.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 3.
You're going to give it a 3?
Yeah.
I'll give it a 3 too, because, it was very, very descriptive.
Good.
For a 24-page book, I should disclaim.
Mm-hmm.
Very descriptive, but a lot of vanilla, which is okay. But then we had opportunities to even reference the wings. We could have even referenced the horns.
He could have at least wrapped them around her in like a tight embrace. Something I imagine Big Wings could maybe do. I don't know.
We could have done a lot more, I think. Okay, I have the link. Oop, my phone just went off. Sorry. Whoa. I went to open up my calculator. That's why, because I was going to get the percentages. And then I apparently had closed on TikTok.
I am a fiend for accidentally tapping videos on Instagram so that they open and start playing audio so loud. And every time it makes me crazy.
No, I literally will break out in sweat.
I was just like, stop. I'm sorry. Every time.
So I have the link to the cover right there.
Yes.
Would you mind giving it a glance?
I am glancing, and let me tell you all about it. A lot of words on this, but behind all of the words, a frighteningly muscular. Mostly this is kind of like a really buff gray man with crazy veins. Obviously, he's supposed to be like a gargoyle. He's supposed to be like stone. This is like really gray and kind of menacing. And he's got like a widow's peak hair. And I'm sure he's got horns and wings, but there is sort of, again, a lot of text on the cover.
Yeah, there's a ton of text.
It's a little bit hard to tell. And then kind of positioned in front of him, a pregnant lady, kind of reddish blonde hair, at least to my green's eye. Not that that's important. Doing a very classic pregnant lady, like maternity photo shoot pose with like one arm covering her boobs and then the other one up around her big pregnant belly. She's wearing little tiny purple underpants.
Yeah.
And it says all up and down the cover of this book, claimed by the Beast, number 3, claimed by the Stone Beast, in a font and color that reminds me really specifically of the title card for Beauty and the Beast.
That's a good one. That's a good reference. Yes.
And then it says a fertile paranormal short, which is so funny. And it's by Cordova Skye. And I'm going to give it a 5 because it's honestly pretty awesome.
No, I'm giving it a 5 as well. The only moment of like pause I had was I think the gargoyle might be an AI image, but it's hard to tell exactly.
It's hard to tell.
But I will say that I'm giving it a 5. It's everything you could hope for, you know, from something like this. So I have a 75% and you have an 80%.
Amazing.
That's actually fairly decent compared to where I thought I was going to land when I started with a 2. So what is your Say Smut moment?
Instantaneous pregnancy. Thank you for coming.
We can agree. I think we can agree on that one.
Did it even need to be said? Probably not. But since you asked.
I think the fact that the dialogue was so clunky and cryptic for no reason at all. And it's not even that she had to make it super descriptive and give all this backstory, but like, why even open up some of these things? Why not be like, yeah, I don't know. This is just how it works. Like, we've had authors do that. It's
just a magical connection I feel in my bones and in my boner, which is made of stone. My stoner.
Yeah. I think,
Sarah's so sick of my shit. She's like, yeah, Hope, whatever.
Yeah,
Stoner,
you know
sure.
what? Just rattle off all of the one-liners we can. Yeah, no, I think we definitely could have done more with this book. I was hoping for more with this book, but we'll see what the others in the series bring. Yeah. You know, we do got 3 other books.
There's so many more, and I'm excited to find out about each beast we are going to be taken by.
Yes. In the meantime, you can find us, if you so choose, on TikTok or Instagram at saysmutpodcast. Additionally, we'd love to hear your book recommendations. Hold on, folks. We've got a special for you because we had a beautiful listener, if I may shout them out, Elizabeth.
Hi, Elizabeth.
Emailed us after we had a reread last week, but the week before we had an apocalypse based story. And this is what Elizabeth sent us. After listening to the new episode, I feel compelled to recommend a book. This is not a recommendation for the podcast, just a rec. Okay.
Amazing.
So we may not cover it, but
for the readers of us who are more serious than me.
It's not a romance novel, but a zombie horror novel. However, it takes place in Wisconsin, which
amazing.
We are Midwesterners. And
which I've been known to live there.
Yeah. So we've been told. And while this zombie apocalypse, while zombie apocalypses are horrific, why am I not being able to read this? Horrific. This novel features an extended sequence of fictional cheese castle.
Hilarious.
And the house on the rock, which is
the saddest thing is that, not that no shade to House on the Rock, but the saddest thing is that of those 2 things, the one that is fictional is Cheese Castle.
Yeah, I know, that's the crazy part. Okay, so if you want to read that, read American Rapture by CJ Leeds, and that's Leede. So anyway, Elizabeth, thank you so much. That was delightful, and I might have to seek it out.
Also just like more of that. Email us and then tell us stuff, and then maybe we'll just talk about it on the podcast.
I just want to talk about books.
It doesn't even have to be about books.
You may not know this, but I like talking about books. And
I've been listening to Normal Gossip today, so honestly, you can just email me random stuff, and I'm excited to talk about that on the podcast as well.
I love Normal Gossip. It's the dream to be on Normal Gossip. Anyway, so please send us your recommendations to saysmutpodcast@gmail.com. Pop us a rating or review on the podcast platform of your choosing. And in the meantime, we want you to stay safe when you're coming to and from work.
Yeah.
Or from anywhere.
Mm-hmm. Vigilant, especially if the employee entrance is in some sort of spooky alleyway, but also all the time.
Yeah. And maybe get some clarifying questions before you just become claimed.
I would ask 1 to 2 more questions about the process of being claimed before agreeing, but that's just my personal preference.
Yeah, for sure. And with that, stay smutty.
Stay smutty. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.